back to the Wyrd Realities Special Report, bringing you the latest in everything strange, unusual, and downright weird. I'm your host, Logan Craft. We've just made our way through one of, if not the best holidays of the year, you know it, Halloween. That also brings with it another milestone, that being the 1-year anniversary of the Wyrd Realities podcast. On behalf of every member of our team here, I would like to thank every one of you who has tuned in to whatever programming Wyrd Realities puts out over the last year. It means a lot. Without further ado, we now have a special report from one of our own, Finley Jones. Let's head over to her.
The question of whether there's life out there has been around for centuries. There have been stories of alien abductions, such as the story of Barney and Betty Hill, which is what Wyrd Realities traveling adventurer Scott Baker talked about last month, or movies such as Fire in the Sky, which is based on Travis Walton's experience. It's also a freaky movie. There's conspiracy after conspiracy. Area 51, UFOs, aliens walking among us, and so on. I won't lie, my first thought when I heard about today's topic was the scene in Battleship when the scientists on the Hawaiian island get a response to the radio signals they've been sending, and a huge ocean fight happens between the aliens that come down and our wonderful Navy. Do I think that's what's going on here? Probably not, but maybe. A Wyrd Realities teammate said, "How arrogant of us to think that we're the only beings in the universe." Is she right? I don't know. But she's smart, so who am I to question? So Business Insider wrote about these radio waves that were coming from the Milky Way on October 16th. Morgan McFall Johnson was the author of this article. The fact that they're radio waves is not unusual, but the mystery for this is that they're coming from an object that's never been detected before. So McFall Johnson says all celestial objects emit radio waves. Planets, stars, dead stars, asteroids. So why is this one a big deal? Because researchers at the University of Sydney say this signal isn't consistent like ones that they've encountered before. According to them, most objects in space are pretty static, so there's not a reason for their signal to change. But this new signal has, quote, waxed and waned dramatically over just a few months, end quote. So this signal has switched on and off at random. It has disappeared for months and then reemerged and then vanished again. And then all through 2020, it emitted strong radio waves. There were 6 signals over a 9-month period. But then when they tried to locate it, they couldn't find it using visible X-ray or infrared lights. So then the researchers went back to radio waves. They used Australia's Parkes radio telescope. They found nothing. And then they used the Meerkat Observatory in South Africa. They observed the area for 15 minutes every few weeks. Quote, finally, they caught the radio signal once more, but it disappeared in a single day. That was strange since the 6 signals they caught with ASCAP had each lasted for weeks. This object was unique in that it started out invisible, became bright, faded away, and then reappeared. This behavior was extraordinary, end quote. That came from Tara Murphy, a professor at the University of Sydney. Now, Murphy was not talking about visual brightness. A bright radio signal is just a strong radio signal. The brightness of the object also varies dramatically by a factor of 100. In an email, Murphy told Insider this is part of what makes it unusual. Objects that are hot, like stars, typically emit visible light, which is why we ruled out a normal star as one of the possible interpretations for this object. It could be a very, very cool star that's too weak to detect the visible light from, but has bright radio flares. The mysterious radio signal shares some traits with signals from a class of objects called galactic center radio transients that were discovered in the 2000s. but researchers don't know much about those objects either, except that they emit low-frequency, highly polarized radio waves with no detectable X-rays. Still, the new signal has properties that don't match those from the radio transients. Wang's co-supervisor, David Kaplan from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee said, "We don't really understand those sources anyway, so this adds to the mystery." Logan, I'm not sure that this tells us there's life out there or not, but it's pretty weird. So I'm going to send it back to you and we can talk about it another day. In the meantime, stay weird.
Well, Finley, that is a very good take on the whole subject. I, for one, do believe we are not alone on this planet. The real question is, does every other organism in this universe just drive by and not want to stop? Because let's be honest, at this point, who would want to stop here? Now, for our next topic, we have Scott Baker coming to us from Salem, Massachusetts. Mr. Baker went to Salem on Halloween. We told him strictly to only go for business. However, I think he had a little more fun than he was supposed to. Let's go ahead and throw it over to Scott.
This is Scott Baker, your spy guy with an eye on the weird, coming to you live from Salem, Massachusetts. I'm here because of a report that 3 witches called the Sanderson sisters have come back and are going to try to steal all the kids, drain them of their youth, and there'll never be another Halloween again. Of course, I'm here on the spot to find out if that's true or not. I just visited Allison's house. Unfortunately, she's out with her boyfriend and the boyfriend's little sister. So I'll see what I can find and I'll get back to you. I'm still out here trying to hunt down the Sanderson sisters. I heard a rumor that the 3 of them had appeared in the town hall behind me, that they sang a song about putting a spell on you and then disappeared. I went in, tried to find out what was going on, but everybody was too busy dancing and wouldn't talk to me. But if they're here, I'll hunt them down. You can trust me.
Well, while Scott tries to find out where the Sanderson sisters are, we wish him luck. It's not certain that he will find them, but I can tell you what you can find is a great deal at the Wyrd Realities podcast Redbubble shop. You know, Christmas is coming up because, as always, we just skip right over Thanksgiving. And we all have that one weird person in the family who really, really needs a good coffee mug, jacket, shirt, or anything they can get their hands on. You know, take a sticker and slap it on their forehead and call it a day. Make sure you go check out the shop because remember, every time you buy a shirt from us, a puppy finds a home.
Your intrepid reporter has reached a dead end. I came here to the Salem witch house, figuring if it's a witch house, I wanted to see what was brewing. Turns out it has nothing to do with witches at all, but it belonged to the home of one of the judges that played a minor role in the witchcraft trials. Still haven't found the Sanderson sisters, but I'm on the lookout. Scott Baker, signing off for now.
Well, unfortunately, Scott was unable to find the Sanderson sisters. Maybe he'll have better luck next year. But that's going to do it for the Wyrd Realities Special Report. I'm Logan Craft. Thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting Wyrd Realities through its first year. Remember, stay weird.